the beginning there was only silence and void. Then from the silence emerged Alaric, the god of order. He was a figure of precision, clad in robes that shimmered like polished steel, his eyes cold and calculating, like the surface of a still lake. Alaric's every movement was deliberate. His mind was a vast mechanism, ticking with the rhythm of the cosmos. He raised his hand and stars aligned in perfect symmetry. Planets spun obediently in their orbits, and galaxies formed intricate spirals. Alaric reveled in his creation, the sheer perfection of it all. He crafted every atom with meticulous care, setting laws that governed the universe, gravity, time, light. Each rule was like a string in an endless symphony, and Alaric was the conductor, ensuring that every note played in harmony. He floated among the stars, a smile of satisfaction on his face. This was his domain, a masterpiece of structure and logic. Nothing was left to chance. Every element had its place, every pattern and purpose. He watched as a new planet cooled and solidified, pleased with the precise way it followed his natural laws. But then, something strange happened. A ripple of energy, chaotic and wild, passed through the fabric of space. Alaric frowned, his gaze narrowing. The ripple distorted the light of a distant star, bending it in ways that defied his carefully constructed rules. "What is this?" Alaric murmured, reaching out to smooth the disturbance. But the energy resisted him, slipping through his fingers like a playful breeze. The universe trembled with laughter, a sound Alaric had never heard before. He turned, searching for the source. A figure emerged from the darkness, dancing through the cosmos with a grace that defied logic. Her hair streamed behind her like a nebula of shifting colors, her gown sparkling with the hues of newborn stars. "I am Celis," she said, her voice like the whisper of wind over water, "the goddess of chaos." Alaric's expression hardened. "Chaos has no place here," he declared, his voice sharp. "This universe is built on order. You disrupt the balance." Celis twirled, sending a cascade of stardust swirling around her. "Order is stagnant without change," she replied, her smile mischievous. "You create the framework, Alaric, but it's my chaos that breathes life into it." Alaric bristled, raising his hand to restore the disturbed orbits of a nearby moon. "I bring harmony, you bring disorder." Celis laughed, a sound that echoed like the tinkling of bells. "Or perhaps I bring possibilities." Alaric's gaze was cold, but deep down, a small part of him was intrigued. He had never faced something he couldn't control. He watched Celis dance away, her form dissolving into the stars. For the first time in eons, Alaric felt a stir of uncertainty. He had encountered something beyond his control, and it left him unsettled, but also strangely excited. Days turned into eons as Alaric attempted to restore the perfect symmetry of his universe. He moved through the galaxies like a sculptor, smoothing the rough edges left by the ripple of chaos. Yet no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't erase the influence of Celis. Wherever she danced, new stars were born, and the paths of comets curved in unpredictable arcs. Alaric found her again, perched on the edge of a supernova, her legs swinging playfully. "You've left your mark here," he said, his voice tight with frustration. The star should have collapsed neatly into a black hole. Instead, it exploded prematurely. Celis tilted her head, her eyes sparkling with delight. "Look closer," she said, gesturing to the scattered remnants of the supernova. "You see chaos. I see creation." Alaric's gaze followed her hand, and he noticed something he hadn't seen before. New elements, heavy and rare, spreading across the void. He watched as these particles drifted toward a nearby planet, seeding its atmosphere with the building blocks of life. "This wasn't planned," Alaric said, bewildered. "It's unstructured." "Not everything needs a plan," Celis replied softly. "Sometimes the unexpected creates something beautiful." Alaric felt silent, contemplating her words. He had always seen chaos as a threat, an aberration to be corrected. Yet here was Celis, shaping the universe in ways he couldn't have ever imagined. Her touch brought unpredictability, but it also brought growth and evolution. "Why do you do this?" he asked, genuinely curious for the first time. "Why disrupt the harmony I've created?" Celis stepped forward, her expression turning serious. "Because without change, there is no progress," she said. "Without chaos, there is no creativity. Your order gives this universe stability, Alaric, but my chaos gives it a soul." He stared at her, trying to understand his perspective. He had spent countless ages perfecting the mechanics of the cosmos, ensuring everything followed a precise, logical path, yet he couldn't deny the vitality that Celis' touch had added. There was something alive in her chaos, something he hadn't realized his universe was missing. "You're saying we need each other," Alec said slowly, piecing together the truth. "That order and chaos are two sides of the same coin?" Scylla smiled, her eyes warm. "Exactly. You set the rules, Alec, but I make sure the rules can be broken when necessary." Alec's cold demeanor softened, just a fraction. "I've never broken a rule in my existence. Maybe it's time you started," Scylla said, taking his hand. "Come, dance with me." Alec hesitated, his fingers twitching in her grasp. He had never danced, never let go of control, but something in her gaze was inviting, promising a freedom he had never known. For the first time, Alec stepped out of his rigid framework and let the chaos in. Alec held Scylla's hand, feeling the wild, unbound energy pulse through her touch. He took a tentative step forward, and she spun him into a waltz that spanned light years. They danced among the stars, the galaxy swirling around them like the flick of a paintbrush on a cosmic canvas. Scylla's laughter echoed to the void, vibrant and infectious. "You're doing it, Alec," she teased. "You're letting go." Alec's movements were awkward at first, stiff and calculated, but as Scylla twirled and spun, he felt a strange sensation, a release. He stopped trying to control every step and let the rhythm carry him. They moved together, their dance a blend of perfect harmony and delightful unpredictability. "Look," Scylla whispered, pointing at a distant cluster of stars. Alec's gaze followed hers, and he saw something extraordinary. The chaotic currents of energy left in their wake had formed new nebulae, brilliant clouds of gas and dust swirling together in a kaleidoscope of colors. Within those nebulae, new stars were beginning to ignite, tiny sparks of light piercing the darkness. This isn't how it's supposed to be," Alec said, his voice filled with wonder instead of dismay. Scylla nodded. "No, it's better. Your rules gave the stars their structure, but my chaos breathed life into them. Together, we've created something neither of us could have done alone." Alec felt a warmth spread through him, a sensation he hadn't known in eons. It was as if the rigid lines of his existence were softening, blending with the vibrant strokes of Scylla's chaos. He realized then that his fear of disorder had blinded him to its potential. "Perhaps I've been wrong," Alec admitted. "I thought chaos was the enemy of creation, but it seems it's the catalyst." Scylla beamed at him, her eyes sparkling like twin suns. "You're beginning to understand, Alec. Chaos isn't here to destroy your order. It's here to complement it, to push the boundaries of what's possible." Alec looked out across the universe they had woven together. He saw planets with life blooming in unexpected places, stars that pulsed with a new, vibrant energy, and galaxies that formed intricate patterns beyond his original designs. The cosmos was no longer a static, unchanging masterpiece. It was alive, evolving. "You've changed everything," Alec said, his voice filled with awe. "We've changed everything," Scylla corrected. "You gave the universe its laws, its structure. I give it the freedom to grow beyond them." Alec's expression softened, a rare smile tugging at his lips. "Then let us continue this dance," he said, "together." Scylla took his hand once more, and they danced through the stars, their movements creating ripples of energy that set the universe ablaze with possibilities. For the first time, Alec didn't resist the pull of chaos. He embraced it, realizing that his creation had been incomplete without it. As the eons passed, the dance of Alec and Scylla became the heartbeat of the universe. They moved together, a seamless blend of precision and unpredictability. The stars pulsed with a rhythm, and the planets spun in perfect, yet playful orbits. Alec found himself enjoying the unexpected. He watched as Scylla's energy collided with his carefully laid plans, creating beautiful deviations. A meteor shower here, an unplanned supernova there. Each event added a layer of complexity to the universe, turning it into a living, breathing entity. One day, as he drifted through the remnants of a dying star, Alec paused, looking out across the cosmos. "I used to believe that perfection meant absolute control," he said softly. "But now, I see that true perfection lies in the balance between order and chaos." Scylla floated beside him, her expression thoughtful. "You gave the universe its structures," he said, "but without change, it would have remained static, unfeeling. My chaos gave it the spark of evolution, the push it needed to grow and adapt." Alec nodded slowly, a deep peace settling over him. "I was afraid of losing control," he admitted, "but I see now that without your touch, my creation was lifeless. I needed you." Scylla's smile was radiant, like a supernova illuminating the darkest corner of space. "And I needed you," she replied. "Chaos without order is meaningless. a storm without a sky to shape it. They continued their dance, weaving new galaxies with every step, their energies mingling like threads in a tapestry. Together, they created black holes that swallow light and nebulae that birth new stars. Life bloomed on planets where their combined touch had lingered, and the universe sang with the harmony of their union. Alec's gaze softened as he looked at Silas. He reached out, taking her hand gently. I once thought we were opposites, he said, but now I see that we are halves of the same whole. Silas nodded, her eyes glistering with unshed stardust tears. We are the creators of balance, she said. Together, we make the universe what it is, ever-changing, yet constant. Alec and Silas stood at the edge of the cosmos, looking out at the universe they had created together. The stars shone brightly, forming constellations that told the story of their dance, of the push and pull between order and chaos, of the creation and destruction that defined existence. Look at it, Silas whispered, her voice filled with awe. It's beautiful. Alec nodded, her eyes misty with a rare emotion. Yes, he agreed. It's more beautiful than I ever imagined. It's alive. They watched as a distant galaxy twisted into a spiral, its arms lit with the glow of a million stars. A comet streaked across the sky, leaving a trail of sparkling dust. On a small blue planet, the first tendrils of life emerged from the oceans, reaching toward the sky. Do you see, Silas said softly? Your laws gave them the ground to stand on. My chaos gave them the will to reach higher. Alec turned to her, a deep gratitude shining in his eyes. Thank you, Silas, he said, for showing me that true creation requires both of us. Silas squeezed his hand, her smile gentle. And thank you, Alec, for giving my chaos a home. They stood together, their hands intertwined, watching as their universe continued to grow and evolve. It was a universe that balanced on the edge of a knife, perfect harmony of structure and spontaneity. In the end, it wasn't order or chaos that defied the cosmos. It was a dance between them, the dance of two gods who had learned that their greatest strength lay not in their differences, but in their union. Together they had woven a universe that was ever-changing, yet eternal, and it was perfect.